Welcome to the RDS for General Overview training video. In this video, you will learn how to navigate through the system, understand the terminologies used during additional trainings. To log into RDS, double-click on the RDS 4 icon and enter in your username and password provided by the Descartes technician. If you do not have a username and password that's been provided, the default username and password is admin RDS admin. Press login, and at this point RDS will open. You've got the ability to be able to resize the screen, making it full screen or partial screen. At the bottom there is a log that stays open. You can shut the log by pressing log at the top left, but I would recommend keeping the log open to see any type of file flow movement within the system. When you look at the RDS screen, you have up at the top, these are considered modules, and these are considered tabs. When you get the training documentation, we will refer to the specific module and specific tab that each step is handled under. At the top, you'll see there's reports. Every module and tab has their own reports, and they are enabled by selecting a specific criteria within that screen. When enabled, the report will be bold. Underneath the Tools tab, you have the top functionality, which is the service. This is very important. If files are not importing into RDS, it is possible that the RDS service is not running. In this case, you will see it says running. If I press stop and go back in, you see it says stopped. So if it says stopped, your files will not import or export out of the system. RDS automatically does importing and exporting of files. There's no files that you have to manually export yourself. If it says stopped, press start. You will only have this capability if you are on a standalone computer or on the server for a server installation. You cannot conduct the stop-start on a client machine that is connected to a server. If by chance your computer happens to start slow, it is possible the RDS system will not start automatically when you reboot your computer. Therefore, you will need to do service and start. At the very bottom, you'll see this red dot. That is the RDS server status. This will turn green in a few moments. Because I stopped the RDS service up here, it will turn red. When that is red, that means that you are not connecting to the server or the RDS service properly. So if that's red, please confirm that this is running. Under options, you can add additional users by going into users and groups, pressing add user, enter the information for the user and the password, and again a password again. In this case, I will just enter in the same thing, press create, and then at this point you will need to refer to the RDS security credentials to determine which group to put the user under, but I'll select officer and press save changes. So now I have not only the default login, I have an additional one that I created for an administrator, and then an additional one I created which is an officer. As you navigate through the system, you will notice that anything that is enabled will be bold. Any type of exceptions will be red. You will use the inbound, the outbound. Those are the inbound into the pool provider, outbound to the store. We will also do routing setup in a different tutorial. and we will go through the maintenance doing store setup in a different tutorial as well. The inbound module has 3 tabs. The inbound trips tab is where all the information displays based on that particular trip that gets worked. In RDS, a trailer is called a trip. A trip is a number that is either provided by the retailer, such as MBOL or some other information, or it's made up by RDS itself based on certain criteria. Under the OS&D tab, you have 2 sub-tabs, exceptions and damages. Exceptions are overages, shortages, and out of areas, where each of those items will need to be reconciled prior to moving to the next step. Same with damages. Damages will need to be updated before you can move forward to the next step, which is consolidation. Consolidation is one or many trips that have been offloaded that will be consolidated into a single delivery for each store, where you will print your delivery bills and preload your driver's scanners. The outbound module dispatch tab is where stores will disperse to once the trips are consolidated. In here, we can move stores around to different routes, different days. We can also preload our driver scanners and print our driver delivery bills. The outbound scan tab is where any type of outbound scans are posted. And the POD tab is where we complete any type of PODs for deliveries. On the left, we have our scanner screen. To open up the scan application, press the Windows icon, select Bearware RDS. When the screen opens, you have to make sure the user, scanner, and route are set up. This is required when first setting up the scanner. To do so, you go into Settings, enter in a user, which is 3 digits, a scanner, and a route. And the route is key when it comes to delivery scanning. The information from RDS system will load into that specific scanner with that route. We will go over this more once we do the dispatch preloading. Once you've filled these in, you press back, and you will see now I have that information filled in. One other thing to note is that we are currently in a delivery scan mode. To change to the warehouse functions, press Settings, Device, and change the mode to In-Out. Press Yes to accept, and OK to switch to the In-Out. If you press back, you will see you are now in the In-Out. Thank you for taking the time to watch this Descartes education and training video.